Russia continues to attack Ukrainian territory with missiles, bombs and shells, and constant threats are now being made not only to Ukrainians, but also to the whole world. Putin does not stop. He wants more blood.
Сегодня мы слышим, что нас хотят победить на поле боя. Ну, что здесь скажешь? Пусть попробуют. Но все должны знать, что мы-то, по большому счету, всерьез пока еще ничего и не начинали.
In addition to missiles and bombs, the Kremlin has other weapons. The Russians are bombarding the information space with high-profile statements. They threaten, manipulate and lie. And the more absurd these statements are, the more gladly they are broadcasted by Russian propagandists. Here, for example, the people of Kadyrov, in one of the captured Ukrainian towns, promised to start a war in Europe. They are only waiting for a command from their leader.
И Николаевск, и Херсон, и Одесса. Пока Владимир Владимирович Путин не остановит нас, мы, иншаллах, дойдем до Берлина, мы победим. В этом нет сомнений.
Russian generals are not inferior to the field commanders of the occupiers. On July 6th, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced that they had already destroyed 137 Ukrainian helicopters. Although, according to the Global Firepower resource, there are only 112 of them in Ukraine. So if you believe the Russians, there are less than 0 helicopters left in Ukraine. However, Ukrainian pilots have a different opinion, and every day they hit the enemy from the sky. HIMARS rocket launchers, which Ukraine received from the USA, also helped them. They shoot deep into the rear of the enemy, and that's why the Russians want to destroy American rocket launchers as soon as possible. And propaganda boasts that some of them have already been destroyed.
В районе населенного пункта Малотарановка Донецкой Народной Республики высокоточными ракетами воздушного базирования уничтожены 2 пусковые установки системы залпового огня «Химарс» производства США и 2 склада боеприпасов к ним.
Nothing new. This is just an everyday occupier's falsehood. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported these statements are fake. Independent investigative journalists have established that when talking about HIMARS destroyed, Russians showed unknown metal barrels. At the same time, American rocket systems continue to inflict painful blows on the enemy. So much that even the Speaker of Russian State Duma, Vyacheslav Volodin, could not stand it. Probably he was greatly offended by the fact that American weapons under the control of the Ukrainian military are burning Russian equipment. And then the blockade of Kaliningrad appeared. Therefore, Volodin began to threaten the United States directly.
А Америка пускай всегда помнит. Там есть часть ее территории, Аляска. Вот когда они начинают пытаться распоряжаться нашими ресурсами за границей, прежде чем это делать, подумают, что нам есть что тоже возвращать.
And to make the threats more convincing, the Kremlin continues to look for those who will support its crimes against Ukraine. Foreign Minister Lavrov was sent on an Asian tour. He spoke with the Vietnamese and the Mongols. He even met with Chinese. As always, he thanked, praised and once again mentioned the common history. Fictional, of course.
Подчеркиваю, как вы только что и сказали, особую важность российско-китайской созидательной связки, стратегической связки в деле формирования более справедливого и демократического миропорядка на основе принципов международного права, прежде всего Устава ООН.
What exactly totalitarian Russia and communist China have to do with democracy, nobody understands though. But everyone understands well another Kremlin sycophant, the self-proclaimed president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko. He suddenly remembered how, back in April, Poland declared that it was ready to place American nuclear weapons on its territory, and once again ran to complain to Putin.
Мы должны быть готовы для того, чтобы в течение суток ответить зеркально им. Для этого надо подготовиться. И мы будем готовиться. И мы никому не угрожаем, мы никого не шантажируем. Мы свое оружие отдали туда. И я вправе сегодня попросить и потребовать президента братской России сделать так, чтобы боялись переступить государственную границу Республики Беларусь.
And the chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Belarus went even further. He stated, if there are any provocations, he will send his units to the territory of Poland. He did not specify how many fighters there would be and from which military branches. However, if this happens, it's likely that special forces will be among them. But we already know what their main weapon is, right? These fighters showed the whole world a figure of the highest acrobatics, a pyramid of soldiers with a flag. The year 2022.